Hello, my lovely family members. Welcome back to your favorite family cooking channel, Cooking with Abba. Yay! So, yeah, if you've not subscribed, if you've not liked, if you've not shared, please do well to hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the family, you're welcome to your happy, bubbly, fun cooking channel right here. So, today I'm going to be working on vegetables and how to handle your veggies. Personally, I love veggies. So yeah, we're going to look at that. We're going to do a simple lettuce salad base you can always enjoy. So let's just go in there. So yeah, this is my bag from the market when I came back. These were all the things I got from the market. Yay, this is how my market day for veggies can be. So today I had some cabbage, some radish, cucumber, you have some pepper, both habanero and the red one, green and red as well. Add some potato, yay, some lettuce, spring onions. What else is in there? Broccolini. Then cauliflower, some squash. Then I've got some beets as well, beetroots. I've got some onion, bell pepper, a bit of squash was still hiding in there. Don't mind the squash. I've got carrots. And yay, that is it. So this is how I keep my veggies. So you see the veggie tray in your fridge, the down part, that's where you're supposed to store your veggies because the temperature there is perfect for veggies. So you just line it up with a tissue paper or with your kitchen tissue paper. That helps you a lot. And you want to arrange your veggies in a way that you can easily pick them out. There'll be air within and there'll be space within. Now, what I've come to realize is how you arrange your veggie counts. So for my carrots, I like to have the heads down. Even with your tomatoes, when you have the head down, it's able to stay for long. So how you arrange your veggies is really going to count when it comes to how your veggies stay long in your fridge. So once that is in, I'm also going to be putting them together. Now, you don't really need the how do you call it? What you need to take note of is arrangement. Make sure that there's always space. Make sure that the parts which are not needed, you take them off. So you realize the radish, I was taking off the excess hair and the head part of it from it because I don't need that rubbish in my fridge. And yeah, so you have to make sure that it's clean, it's dry. I don't really advise you buy veggies which have been pre-washed unless they have been washed and dried. Because when there's so much moisture, don't forget garbage in, garbage out. When there's so much moisture in there, potentially it's going to spoil early. So it's better you have it dry. And for the cabbage, I like to take off the outer skin off and have it clean like that before I put it in. So don't be worried. For your veggie handling, it's up to you and your fridge capacity. But make sure that the most important thing is you're arranging it well. Make sure that all the parts which you don't need, you take them off and let it be clean, let it be organized. Once your fridge is organized, when you open it, you're able to pick out things easily. Things will not go bad, they won't go spoiled in there. And I always say, make sure that the head part always goes down. So for your carrots, for your squash, and all of them. That way, air is able to pass through it, and it doesn't go bad early. For cauliflower, I think I've already taught it here on how to handle your cauliflower. Yes, so for the cauliflower, it's already done here. Just prepping this up. I'm going to wash all of them and then cut them later. So I have this bin. I'm just pushing all of them into the wrapper. Then I just move to my spring onions. Spring onions, yes, I like to cut off the roots. Then I remove the outermost skin part from it. Yes, before I even go on to wash it. So that the sand and all those things don't go into my sink and clog my drains. So yeah, this is how I work on my veggies. And I always say it's better to do this than to dump it all in the fridge, and when you're ready to use it, You're going helter skelter and wasting your time. One reason most people don't take veggies is a waste of time for them. But then I always say if you invest the right time into it, it won't waste your time when you're ready to cook with it. So if you want to make most of your veggies, you don't want them to go bad, you need to know which ones to keep fresh, which ones to freeze, and how to handle it. So for your carrot, your green pepper, your radish, your squash, you don't really need to pre-cut them. You can leave them in the fridge whenever you're ready. You clean it up, then you work with them. Yes, but then when it comes to like your spring onions, it doesn't stay for long in the fridge. It's going to go bad. Like your cauliflower, you don't want it to start growing insects in them. Like your broccolini, you may not be using it that week or two. So those ones you may want to pre-cut and then freeze it. And your pepper, you don't want them to go rotten in your fridge. So you just take the heads off and then you'd be able to wash it. And for my lettuce, because I was using it that day, I took it off totally from the branch part so I could wash them beautifully and work on it. But if not, if I'm not going to use it that day, you could just put the root part in a bit of water, not so much water, else it will rot. Just a little bit of water, just to keep it fresh in there. Or you could just polythene it and put it in your fridge and use it the next day. So this is basically how to work on your veggies when you come from the market. I always say invest good time in it so it doesn't waste your time when you're ready to cook. Now for veggies, I always say wash them with salt, wash them with a bit of vinegar. If you don't have vinegar, in Chennai, is in Chennai more perfect. The most important thing is you're checking the bacteria, checking, yeah, it's always exposed out there. So you want to get your salt solution. If you have a vegetable wash, you can also use it. And I'm going to soak in my broccolini and then my cauliflower. And I always told you that for the cauliflower, if you don't soak the head well, you won't be able to get the dirt as well as the worms out. Sometimes there are small, small, tiny, tiny green worms in there. Yes, so if you don't take notice and if you don't work on it well, you'll be eating extra protein. Let me put it like that. But please, I want you to eat well. So do well to invest some time and clean your veggies. It will save you more time when you're working on them later. So yeah, I'm just trying to have extra water. So for spring onion for my lettuce, I'm going to double wash it because those ones sometimes the sand around it is more. So I always have those Ziploc bags. They always save me. They are not so expensive. The the pack, the regular size pack, is less than 10 cedis here. It's less than that. So that's less than $2 over here. So you could easily get your Ziploc pack and then be using it for your veggies. So for the pepper, I just wash it with my salt and I put it in. So if I'm going to cook, I just need to take what I want to take and then I just cook with it because it's already washed and cleaned. Yes, so I always say invest time and it will save you more time when you're cooking. So I'm going to put in my pepper into my Ziploc bags and I'm going to Ziploc it. And of course, I'm going to perforate some holes in there just to allow air to go in, especially when you're going to keep it in your fridge for maybe like a week or two. Yes, you want to create a bit of air so that there'll be space in so it doesn't go bad early. But if you're going to freeze it, you won't really need to perforate it at all. It's not very necessary if you're going to freeze it directly. So for the broccolini, I'm just going to wash, I'm going to cut, and of course, I've taught how to work on the cauliflower on this channel. So yeah, for the lettuce, I'm going to also do the same for it. Like I said, I'm going to double wash it with the spring onions as well. So I'm going to just cut the stem part. I like to segregate it so that whenever I take it, if I'm working with the crown, I'm working with the crown. If I'm working with the base, I'm working with the base. So for the stem part, I like to use it in my soups as thickness because when I'm doing my vegetable soups, I don't really like to use so much of the garden eggs. So I prefer to use a stem of the cauliflower or of the broccolini. That gives me that texture I want. So I segregate it and I ziplock it beautifully Then I put that aside, and of course we move. So for the cauliflower, I've taught it how to work on it here. Cauli rice, cauli crowns, all of them I've worked on it here. So I'm just going to break it into smaller chunks. I'm going to remove the part which is not necessary. You see, I'm taking some animals and insects from it. So yeah, once I'm done breaking it, I also want to still wash it with salt again before I put it in my Ziploc bag. Yes, it's very, very necessary. So once it goes into my Ziploc bag, I'm going to work on my lettuce. This job, if you are in my house, you learn it, yes. And yeah, so this helps preserve your lettuce. So when you're going to keep it in your fridge for a bit of a while, once you're done cleaning, you need to mop out the water with your clean napkin and make sure that your veggie is well dried, or else it will get rotten early. Yes. So if you don't really have the time or you're time pressed, what you could do is use your strainer, put them in so that it drains off. So when you're mopping, you won't spend so much time mopping it out. And for your spring onion, you double wash it because of the sun, especially at the root part. And then you do same with the head part. So you see the sun remains down there. You can imagine if I had not even taken the roots with all the sun from it before I washed it. So I'd always say that make sure you wash it properly before you go to the cutting. Yes, so I'm just going to segregate it, take the down part from the top green part. Now the base part, I like to use it mostly in my stews, and then when I'm doing my curly rice dishes and all those ones. The stew, when you use it in, it gives you extra points. And the green parts, when I'm doing the salads, yeah, or the fried rice, I do it into adding some color in there. But it's always good to separate it. So when you're doing something, you know what to pick for each dish you're doing. And that helps you a lot. In the kitchen, being organized is what is going to give you that time to go on. And if you do things last minute or you're doing things all together, it may be a bit frustrating and to wear you out or tire you out. So this is how I simply work on my veggies. And then, the Ziploc bags, most of them go into the freezer. I freeze it. The lettuce, I'm going to do a simple lettuce salad here. So in order for you not to feel cooking as a work, you need to prep and plan in advance. And these are some of the simple things you can do to save you time and make cooking more pleasurable for you. So for my simple lettuce salad, I'm going to grate my carrots. I'm going to use a bit of cucumber, and then my lettuce, I'll add a bit of mayonnaise and then eggs. So I grate my carrots first. I'm not going to cook anything. I'm just going to use everything all fresh in here. So I grate my carrots. The base part I chew, don't worry. I'm the one eating this here, so it's freestyle. I'm just going to use my hand, but if you're doing professional cooking or cooking for people, you may have to use some gloves or you could use your chopping board to cut it. But I feel when you cut with the hand, you said that's natural freestyle something. You don't want things to be too organized with that. So once that is done, we're going to mix it with our carrots beautifully for all of them to come together. And then you add in the rest of your lettuce. Yeah, so you want all your lettuce in there beautifully. Then you go on to work on your cucumber. Now for the cucumber, I'm just going to cut the head part and the bottom part. And my little boy, IJ, he got me together with his mom this simple, so I say technology, this simple tool which helps you get your cucumber beautifully done. And I almost forgot. You realize as I was doing the lettuce, I was taking out the stem part or the part which were not too good. Yes, so as you're working on it, you've got to be watching and then looking out for the bad parts and taking them off. So yeah, the cucumber, I just cut the bottom and the top part. Then I place in my, I don't know how to call this simple instrument, but it helps you get your cucumber in this spiral or something. It's very nice. So shout out to my boy IJ. my super huge fan, my greatest fan. Yeah. And yeah, he's thank you all for the support for the channel. It's been so immense, and I'm so glad to all of you. I love you all. So yeah, once my cucumber goes in, I'm going to add a bit of mayonnaise because I'm more of a mayo person. I'm going to add a bit of my mayo. I'm going to mix it all together, and I'll beautifully serve my lettuce based salad with my eggs, my cooked egg. Yes, my hard boiled egg. So once I'm done, I'm virtually ready to eat. Trust me. I was going to eat this thing in two foods. I ate the first session, Charlie. Before I realized I'm eating now. So when your veggies are fresh, so your cucumber, you can just go away without removing the skin. The seeds are not too hard to work with, but if it's been there for long, the cucumber, what happens, the skin becomes a bit tough, maybe a bit bitter. So I always say before you use your cucumber with skin and seed, scoop a bit or cut a bit of the skin and taste and be sure that the taste is good before you add it in. If not, just peel it off and serve your beautiful lettuce salad. So till I see you in the next food video, do make sure you enjoy life, live life to the fullest, be merry, be joyous. And my team and I will love you and appreciate you. Lots of love from the team and I. Mwah.